And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But
2 men shot southeast side, woman shot southeast side, stabbing on the west side, break-in on the southwest side, double shooting inside a liquor store, west side.
Hey, thank you to our president, the people's president, like I keep saying, the real MVP, President Donald J. Trump.
There hasn't been a murder there in 2 weeks. And I can't find one liberal or one so-called pro-black that's happy about it.
All right, guys, as some of you guys may know, I am originally from Chicago. It's my hometown. And listen, Chicago is beautiful. The food is great, but the crime is completely out of control. People are desperate here for change. They're literally begging for change, myself included, because my whole family is here. I grew up here. But the problem is these Democratic-led cities are just completely crime-ridden because of their leadership. The leadership is corrupt. These are so-called black leaders that do not care about black people. They care about cash and checks and making speeches. If they really cared, they'd stop funding illegals and start funding the kids getting shot on the south side of Chicago. But the reality is this. The majority of the people dying in Chicago, they are black. The majority of the families being directly affected by this violence, again, black. We're watching children be shot down in the street, not just boys, but girls too now, and it is out of control, and nobody wants to address it. BLM definitely won't address it. I don't even know where BLM is. Brandon Johnson just sits there and just say crime is down, but let's be clear, even if one person is dying, it's too many. Saying crime is down from an all-time high does not change the fact that people are still being murdered every single week. So today we're going to get into Trump's plan to possibly come into Chicago and why this actually could be the best thing that has happened to the city in decades. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen JC. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like or the subscribe button. Or if you want to support the channel, go ahead and hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Let's go ahead and get into it. So as you guys know, Trump has essentially taken over D.C., the capital of this country. And since he's done that, crime has dropped drastically. They literally went 12 days straight without a single murder, okay? And D.C. haven't seen something like that in years, okay? So obviously somebody is going to break the streak because psychos will always be psychos. However, let's be clear, Trump walks in and suddenly chaos remembers how to behave. That is not a coincidence. That is real leadership. And now Trump is talking about something even bigger, possibly applying the capital punishment to anyone who commits murder in the Capitol. Don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
Of the death penalty in the nation's capital. This as D.C. sees its first homicide in nearly 2 weeks.
Lucas Tomlinson live in D.C. with the details. Hey, Lucas.
Well, good early morning, Ashley and Todd. That shooting took place early Tuesday morning after midnight when an adult male was found unconscious but breathing in Anacostia off Minnesota Avenue in southeast D.C. He later died in the hospital, marking D.C.'s first homicide in nearly 2 weeks, bringing the total to 102 for the year. D.C. has a higher murder rate than Chicago, and during yesterday's marathon cabinet meeting that stretched for more than 3 hours, guys, President Trump says he wants to bring back the death penalty for anyone convicted of murder in the nation's capital.
if somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative. And everybody that's heard it agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country, but where you have it, it is, we have no choice.
Now, to be honest, I think it's a fantastic idea because if you want to stop the cycle of violence, you have to send a strong message. And this is where it gets even better. Trump even implied that he might be coming to Chicago next. And that, to me, is phenomenal. Because children of Chicago deserve to be safe, just like the children of D.C. Deserve to be safe. And yet, for all the people who are out here claiming to be pro-Black, who claim to care about equality, who claim to want safety in our neighborhoods when Trump actually stepped in and bring that safety, they suddenly don't want it. It is amazing. People scream about justice and protecting Black lives, but when someone actually does something that actually saves Black lives, they're still mad. And so you're not just hearing it from me. I want you guys to take a listen to this guy share the exact same sentiments about Donald Trump and what he has done in D.C. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
All right, so, I need help with something, right? Because I talk about this all the time. I talk about how in urban cities across America, right? We have these cities that have, murder rates that 2 and 3 and 4 and 500 murders every single year, right? Whether you're talking about Philly, Chicago, Memphis, Detroit, DC, right? And right now in DC, right? DC is a city that's a majority black city, nicknamed Chocolate City, right? Black people die there on a regular basis, right? There hasn't been a murder there in 2 weeks. And I can't find one liberal or one so-called pro-black that's happy about it, right? These the same people that run around acting like they got all this love and concern for the black community. And I can't find one that's happy about the fact that there are no black people being murdered in DC right now, right? If the Trump administration said, you know what, we're going to stop our efforts, we're going to pull back the National Guard, we're just going to, we're going to let DC just be DC. They would celebrate that shit. And do you know what would happen? It would go right back to murder, mayhem, death, and fucking destruction. That's what would happen. And I'm of the opinion now that this is what they want. Because the idea that the city with the 4th highest murder rate, the murders just stopped. It's been 2 weeks. Nobody has been killed. Every city should want that. But liberals and so-called pro-blacks are against it. We got to wake the fuck up, man. We got to wake up. And I said it before and I'll say it again. They don't give a fuck about us, man. It's not about the people. It's about the party. And these the same niggas that talk that, coon and tap dancing for the white man shit. But I'm the one that's happy, right? That in a city where black murder is commonplace, right? Where we got our children are running around killing each other. I'm happy that that's not happening. And y'all upset about it. But I'm the one that's the sellout. It's me. I'm the problem. Y'all got to come up with some new material, man. And y'all got to start getting on the right side of these issues. Some shit is just common sense. Y'all go against anything Donald Trump does, even if it's beneficial for you. It's something wrong with that. Wake the fuck up, man.
Now, I couldn't have said that better myself because I know exactly what he means. We are living in a very twisted world where common sense isn't common at all. We're out here defending criminals instead of protecting the innocent. Honestly, lock them up, ship them out, and if they insist on terrorizing neighborhoods, then don't be surprised when they end up 6 feet in the ground. Okay? I'm not shedding a single tear for these maniacs who think that they're going to shoot children and normalize it. Now, Donald Trump has also talked about bringing the National Guard to Chicago, and let's go ahead and take a listen to that clip.
Anywhere on earth. So, I really am honored that the National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with...
Now, I'm assuming he shouted out Chicago flips red. He didn't exactly say their name, but let's be real. They're the only ones walking around with the red heads and trying to save Chicago. And sure enough, they're actual Chicagoans who actually live in Chicago, who understand the city's problems, who are part of Chicago Flip Red, made a video in response. Let's go ahead and take a look at what she had to say.
Say thank you to our president, the people's president. Like I keep saying, the real MVP, President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for hearing us, for listening to us. We need you here in Chicago, not just to see the National Guard. We're asking one more thing. We need you to come in and investigate the Brandon Johnson administration, the Pritzker administration, and Tony Brinkle and CTU. Hey, it's all hands on deck. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you.
We need to start listening to the real black people of Chicago, not these black mayors, not these politicians who tell you crime isn't a problem, and definitely not the people who only reference downtown as if it represents the whole city. It is disgusting. I am one of those people who know what's happening in Chicago isn't just criminal, it is demonic. Now, Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson, who is a complete idiot, by the way, was asked a very simple question. Would adding 5,000 police officers along with other programs make Chicago safer? And here's what he had to say. Brace yourselves because he's not going to answer the question. Go ahead and take a listen.
Look, I'm curious, would you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand
What
that.
we've said-
You've talked about the other things you want. Would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone. But do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
Okay,
I'm not saying that we don't.
That's not the question I asked.
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? Would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported.
Now, of course, he dodged a question because deep down he doesn't want more cops. He wants fewer. This man is literally allergic to accountability. He'd rather keep you scared than admit his policies actually just suck. If Brandon Johnson really cared about the safety of the city, he wouldn't have taken over $600 million and spent it on illegal immigrants while Chicagoans are being gunned down in the streets. That's how you know that these mayors don't care. They'll have you believe Donald Trump is the problem, but the problem is not Donald Trump. The problem is these black mayors, these Democratic-led cities, and specifically Brandon Johnson. You are the problem. And I'll tell you like this, people like me are thankful that Donald Trump is in office. I sleep better at night knowing he's in office, and I'll sleep even better when all of these corrupt mayors, these black mayors, like these black celebrities, these black athletes, these black politicians who keep selling their own people out are finally exposed and removed. You ruin this country, and I don't care where Trump sends you when it's over. And if you don't believe me, let's take a look at the receipts. Now, here's the first one. These are the top 10 most dangerous cities by homicide rate per capita. And what do you see? Democrat mayors. Okay, over and over again, many of them black, and the very people who claim to represent the community are presiding over the worst slaughter in this country. Here's the second receipt. Total number of homicides. Chicago is number one, way above everyone else. And again, Democratic mayors, mostly black mayor. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. And those are just facts. You can keep believing in propaganda. You can act like you care about black lives, but the fact is that these black mayors, okay, they do not care about black lives, because if they did, crime would be taken more seriously, okay? And just investing in illegal immigrants is completely disgusting, okay? These people need to get out of our communities because we're the ones that are affected the most, okay? We have to care about black lives because these people simply won't, unfortunately. And this next lady is going to give you a rundown of just a few things that have happened right here in Chicago. So you tell me, and quite frankly, tell her too, if Chicago needs the National Guard. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Okay, I have a list of some of the things that happened in Chicago from Friday till today. And people want to know if we need the National Guard. And this is not a full list of everything that happened in Chicago. So let's just take a look. From the south side to the north side, west, southeast, and downtown. We have a SWAT situation on the west side. $100,000 worth of Louis Vuitton merchandise stolen from downtown. Foot Locker broken into, rammed into with a vehicle. Forgot which location that was. 2 men shot southeast side. woman shot, southeast side. Stabbing on the west side. Break-in on the southwest side. Double shooting inside a liquor store, west side. Hostage SWAT situation on the southwest side. Fighting on the southeast side. A woman stabbed in the stomach, southeast side, CTA train. A 5-year-old fatally shot on the southeast side. A robbery and a shooting on the north side. Man shot on the Sabo Lakeshore Drive, South Loop. And a shooting in the motel, southwest side. This is not everything that happened from Friday to today. And I'm pretty sure there's more. My sources, ABC News and the Citizen app.
Not just her. We're going to look at one more clip. Go ahead and take a listen to this next clip.
I don't see a reduction in crime. I see crime everywhere.
We've got a lot of challenges. We've especially had a lot of challenges the last 5 years.
It's a good thing that Trump is doing something about the crime rates.
I mean, that's what these people think, and these are what the numbers say. Look at the shootings in the timeline. And as I do that, let me bring in my next guest. He's made it his mission to help clean up the streets of Chicago. Project Hood founder, Pastor Corey Brooks, joins us now. So, Pastor, we keep hearing from the mayor and governor, crime's going down, leave us alone. Should we leave you guys alone?
Absolutely not. We need to invite President Trump in. We invite the National Guard in. You know, we've had 254 deaths in 233 days. 80% of those have been black boys. And for anyone in our community to say that things are getting better and that people are safe, that is an outright lie. We need to do any and everything we can to keep our citizens safe. One of the number one priorities of government is to make sure that the citizens of America stay safe. And that should be the number one priority of the governor and the mayor, but it's not, because the only thing that they're really concerned when it comes to Black lives that matter is Black lives that matter that vote.
So clearly we have a problem in Chicago. And let's be honest, most of the people saying that they don't want the National Guard here, they don't even live here. And if they do live here, they've been surrounded by these issues for so long that they've convinced themselves that it is normal. This is not normal. I want Chicago to go 12 days without anybody being murdered. I want Chicago children to be able to walk outside and play without worrying about getting shot. I want to be able to walk down the street and not have to wonder if anyone is going to rob or kill me, especially someone that looks like me. I want to be able to buy food in my city without having to be served behind a plexiglass like I am some type of shark in an aquarium. When you want better, you do better. And right now we need the National Guard. Actually, we should be bringing them waters, thanking them for helping us. And while they're at it, they should bring ICE too and come and get these illegal immigrants. Please and thank you. Now, of course, much like the sisterhood, Brandon Johnson lives in a bubble, and he seems to think that it is racist to try to incarcerate criminals. I am not kidding. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
As the mayor of this city, I can tell you that Chicagoans are not calling for a military occupation. They are calling for the same thing that we've been calling for some time, and that's investment. What safe cities across America all have in common, they invest in people, and that's what we're doing in Chicago. We need the federal resources to make sure that we're building more affordable housing, expanding mental and behavioral health care, education, all of these things that could reduce crime and provide real community safety. Instead of spending hundreds of millions of dollars for a publicity stunt to invoke chaos and terror, the federal government should spend that money on proven solutions to crime and violence reduction. We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
These people are weaponizing your skin color because they know your blackness comes before everything. That is the truth. And your mayor, he's being used as a delivery system. That's the only reason why he's in office, because of his blackness. But here's the problem. When you see something has been infiltrated, when you see someone has been hijacked, you have to adjust. You cannot keep voting for these people simply because they're black. That is not progress. That is bondage. It's like saying I would rather be killed by a black person than saved by a white person. That is not strength. That is programming. And this whole blue no matter who mindset, it does not work. It never has and it never will. Not to mention, even Malcolm X had a problem with this because he's about to talk about the exact same thing. White liberals and the black politicians who dance for them. So this has been going on for years. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this clip of Malcolm X. And the part that kills me the most is black people will wear his face on a t-shirt, but ignore every single word he said. It is unbelievable. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that the black man should control the politics and the politicians in his own community. The time when white people can come in our community and get us to vote for them so that they can be our political leaders and tell us what to do and what not to do is long gone. By the same token, the time when that same white man, knowing that your eyes are too far open, can send another Negro into the community, get you and me to support him so he can use him to lead us astray, those days are long gone. We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what part politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart. So the political philosophy of black nationalism only means that we will have to carry on a political program of re-education to open our people's eyes, make us become more politically conscious, politically mature. And then we will, whenever we get ready to cast our ballot, that ballot will be cast for a man of the community who has the good of the community at heart.
He warned us about this exact trap, blindly following politicians because of their skin color or their party instead of judging by actions and results. And here we are decades later, still making the same mistake. And the reality is, none of these policies these black mayors push out actually benefit black people. Quite frankly, if they really wanted to help, they wouldn't be spending money on illegal immigrants. I have to keep saying this because this is what they're doing. They'd actually be spending it on actual Americans, on the families in Chicago who can't walk around outside without fear, on the kids who can't even play without hearing gunshots. But instead, they're making sure illegals are housed, fed, clothed, while you, the taxpayers, suffer. Look, the people of Chicago need to wake up. Like, we seriously have to be aware. We have to start realizing what is happening in this country before it is too late. Because honestly, we've got bigger problems than to be worried about crime and crime statistics. AI is literally rewriting the rules of life right in front of us, and people are too busy crying over pronouns to notice. That is how distracted they keep you. And here's the hard truth. Chicago doesn't have a crime problem. It has a leadership problem. These black mayors, these Democratic-led cities, they do not care about black lives. They care about money. They care about power and keeping you blind. They weaponize your skin color while funneling your tax dollars into illegals, leaving you and your children to fend for yourselves in neighborhoods drowning in violence. Donald Trump has already proven in Washington, D.C. that when real accountability shows up, chaos backs down. 12 days without a single murder. If that can happen in D.C., it can happen in Chicago. But it won't as long as we keep putting people in office who smile and wave and then sell you out the second cameras are off. Bottom line is, Chicago doesn't need more excuses, fake speeches, and diversity hires. It needs order, it needs safety, and it needs leaders who put Americans first, not their wallets, not their skin colors, and not illegals. All right, guys, we're going to get into some of your guys' comments. L.A. Beggin says, you're doing such important work, and it's clear you are really working hard. I am so impressed by you and grateful to you for saying what needs to be said, for having the courage to get out there and post on really important subjects in such a vast field of important subjects. Keep up the great work. Thank you, L.A. Baggins. I hope I'm saying your name right. This is like my soul project. I think this is what I am supposed to do. This is why I'm here, to talk to people and get people to open their eyes about what is really going on around them. And I really am thankful for people like you for supporting the channel, because you guys help me keep going. Marcus Daniels says, thank you for saying everything that I have been saying, also known as The Truth. Yes, Marcus Daniels. I am a new member of the Truth community. Well, not super new, but I've been doing this for about 5 years now, where I have completely just been in this process of just understanding that we have been lied to about a lot. Let's see. D. Reeves says, I love your content. It is right on point. I agree with 100% of everything you say. You are inspiring, an epitome, and a perfect example for others to aspire to as a Black woman of character. I look forward to your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, D. Reeves. That actually means a lot to me because I get up and I am so motivated by you guys and you guys enjoying my content because I absolutely have no idea what I'm doing. I just want to let you guys know that. Mark Slater says, Coffee, you deserve a steak dinner. You are a blessing for speaking your mind and saying out loud what we are all thinking. And remember, for every one hater, you have at least 1,000 followers that have your back. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys for being with me and supporting me and helping me push my content forward and push this message forward because it is so important. And if we want to save our country, this is not even just about the Black community, but the Black community is a part of this country and we can't deport them. So yeah, we have to do some type of rehabilitation. So I am going to be the person that does that. I care about all Americans, but specifically Black Americans just need to be, I don't want to say coddled, but they need to be corrected. That's probably the proper way to say that. Dan Dale Monaco says, Carmen, it is so refreshing to see somebody from your community finally say the truth. Thank you, Dan Dale Monaco. I really appreciate that. And I really want to try to inspire more Black people to say the truth. Candace Owens was probably one of the people that kind of woke me up and helped me see the truth. So, if she could do that for me, I hope I can do that for other people. MC says, I am glad you are on these topics as they need to be addressed. Please keep this work going. Thank you, MC. Yeah, I think these topics are completely crucial. Like when I try to talk about things, I don't try to talk about things because it's popular or trending. I try to give my perspective on why this situation matter or why we should be worried about certain things because it does matter. Echo Channel says, I think your efforts to help deprogram degeneracy is one of the most important efforts of our time. To see the degeneracy destroying the Black community now for 50 plus years is criminal because it is intentional by the DNC. But this is starting to change thanks in part to you. You are really doing the Lord's work. Yeah, I think the Democratic Party is completely demonic. I think they're pretty evil and they'll do anything for money and for votes. And it is disgusting. And I think more people need to wake up to what the Democratic Party is. I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. I'm not saying that that's the way to go. I'm just saying at least know who's doing the thing. Min Pao says, thanks. Thank you, Min Pao. Woodrow Godshine says, my issue, feeling like racist when you know what? F the BS. You know what? F the BS, Woodrow. It is what it is sometimes, and we cannot let people call us names because we speak the truth. My Rock CA says, thanks. Thank you. Bella is my girl says, thank you for being amazingly beautiful and keeping it based. I appreciate you so much. Yes, thank you. I really am trying to just be the person because I'm so imperfect and because I went through a lot of stuff. I am able to show people like, hey, I come from hard times too, and look at me now. And this all came with accountability. Quindy Eskimo says, thanks. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Quindy Eskimo. And just thank you for everybody who constantly supports the show, who constantly just leave comments and like. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are doing the Lord's work by helping me do the Lord's work. So thank you guys for just being amazing. I am Carmen JC. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. If you want to help spread the message, go ahead and share it with someone you know. You can also hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below to support the channel. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.
Conscious culture, we awaken and we learn. Fire in our spirits, watch the system as it burns. Question every lesson, let the real truth return. We break the mold, and now it's our turn.